Ahlan wa sahlan fikum. Welcome to my kitchen /Sahtein. Today I'm going to show you how to make roll Musakkhan. Musakkhan is a dish made of caramelized onions and chicken on bread, and it's delicious and savory. The most important piece of this dish is the sumac. It's got a citrusy kind of lemon flavor, and it's really savory, and it's the basis of the real flavor that comes out of this dish. Today we're going to be making it in a different way that I learned from our family caterer Fayzeh. A form of Musakkhan where we roll the mixture into very, very thin bread. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the chicken boiling with some spices. So let's do that. The spices that we're going to put in are lumi, Egyptian lemon, coriander, a little bit of black pepper, some cinnamon, ground cumin, and some bay leaves. I'm also going to add half of an onion. I have about 8 chicken thighs here with the bones still in. You can use a whole chicken if you want. I'm doing this for ease today. We're gonna bring this to a boil and let it simmer for at least 45 minutes or so to really get the flavor out and also to cook the chicken. So while that's happening, let's get all of the onions ready. I have 4.5 very large onions here, and we're going to just cut them up into very small pieces and start getting them caramelized. This may look like a lot of onions, but it's going to cook down a lot. So we're going to get a few tablespoons of oil in a pot. We're gonna put these onions on a medium-low heat and let them cook down slowly. The oil that I'm using to cook this down is grapeseed oil because it does well in high heat. We're gonna add about a good pinch's worth of salt and stir it through. This is the part of this dish that's gonna take some patience because we really want these onions to cook down until they're really, really soft. So these onions are gonna cook slowly for about 25-30 minutes, as long as it takes for them all to get really brown and dark and caramelized. If you feel like you're a little low on oil, definitely add a little bit more. That's totally fine. So this has been simmering lightly for about a half hour or so. Once the chicken is done, we're just gonna pull it out and we're gonna save this broth to use for something else another time. Once the chicken has become cool enough to touch, we're going to just fet the chicken, which means just we're gonna break it up into little shredded pieces. And leave out all bones, of course. At this point, once the onions are really cooked down and softened, we're gonna add the sumac. I'm gonna add a few healthy teaspoons of sumac. You can find sumac in an Arabic grocery store. You can find it in a lot of Indian spice stores. It's definitely a spice that you can find. Hopefully, the stuff you can get is fresh and it's very pink. Sumac is also what gives this dish such rich color. That the fresher your sumac, the richer the color is really going to be. This is smelling so good. Taste it, see how it's doing. Needs a bit more salt.
بده عارف ايش مشان يصير طري شوي بده زيت زيتون هاي شوفي مش بطل زي قبل ناشف هيك صار طري شوي احنا بنعمل الاكل زي ما بده الزبون عرفتي كيف مثلا في ناس بدهم ملح قليل في ناس بدهم مثلا سكر كثير كل حدا بده اشي شكل هلا بنبلش نشتغل.
The bread we're using is the closest thing I could find to shrak, which is the traditional very thin village bread. I got this at the local Syrian bakery. It's just, they call it village bread, or just find something really thin. You could even use like really thin pita probably, but this is the best stuff because you'll see it comes in these really big sheets and then we cut them to perfect size to roll them into the roll Musakkhan. I think in Arabic it's roll Musakkhan. We want to keep this bread nice and moist, so we're going to keep it in the bag or cover it with a damp paper towel while we're working with it. Get a big healthy amount of chicken and you're going to roll it really tightly. You don't need to trim the edges, but if you want it to look nice and you're having guests, it's nice to just trim the edge so that they're all the same size. If it looks like you don't have enough bread or the bread's too thin, just put another scrap piece on the end. That will help. Keep rolling until you run out of bread, and at this point you can freeze these and save them and heat them up another day. They're really lovely to make in advance and then heat up as appetizers for a dinner, but I'm gonna make them, of course.
تمسكي الفرشاة زيت زيتون تدهنيه هيك مو كتير شوي.
We're going to brush these with olive oil and then put them in the oven at 400 for about 10 minutes or so just to get the bread really crispy, and then we're ready. They've gotten nice and crispy and they are ready. So I made a bunch of these and then I made a bunch more, and these are going to be going in the freezer. They're so easy to reheat. People go crazy over them. So these are my Musakkhan rolls. If you want to see more videos like this from me, please subscribe and let me know if you have any recipes that you would like to see me make. Thank you for watching, and Sahtein.